All right, part 3 of the cirrhosis. All right, the goods and technologies and services and services and these things, the serve ice. This is tied to that ice age, and we see the peanuts gathering, so-called. And the peanuts will be those nuts that crack open for those imposters, those impost ears, in a manner of speaking, for the enchanters and the Antichrist and such, for the kings that are placed upon the earth, and the Jesus and the so-called prophets and stuff that are passing through men at these times will be the Antichrist to the church, because the church has been a stolen inheritance. They've been taken, and you're asking for salvation through this begotten Son that Jesus actually taught against, because Moses lifted up the serpent, and out of the hardness of their hearts they created these laws and such, and we saw the law come with 10 at first, and then it turned into 600 plus. Okay, so that's what we see in our nation, where we saw the Bill of Rights and these things established, and then it got turned into this whole fiasco we live in today. So we got all these agencies and stuff that the e-god, the Doge is coming in, and he's going to get rid of, and this will be that so-called Antichrist system to the old way, and the petrodollar, that old global empire, is going to go away, and all these other things. Okay, and in the old times, our grandfathers and great-grandfathers were told that, well, we were told back then that there was an end times and blah, or that they were going through end times or whatever, and we're all still here. So that's exactly what's going to be happening in a way, is we're going to have that World War III scenario. We're going to have that gold, that petrodollar, all these things overlapping, and the gold going away as, okay, so as all that happened over a span of time, we're going to see that happen now. And that's why they're announcing the Jubilee in 2025 and all these other things. And we see the bricks laid out, and the bricks is where you build the house, and the roads to the new Oz, and all those things. So, and you go from one to the other. So as the bricks is laid out, some people are already in Oz with the so-called Lord, as the Lord's risen, as the white horse has come and given them pure consciousness, and they can see what's going on upon this earth and those other things. And that John at Patmos is risen within them, when they're seeing the butler and the baker situation happening with the ear as a deadly head wound comes across the donkey's mouth, Balaam speaking to all. So you see things backwards in a way, and then Balaam is the donkey, given the mouth to speak, is being transformed back into the Balaam in a way, and then that's where you have Balaam for Elon, and then you also have for Trump, because these times are going to be the dark periods and such. So this is where the church is going to run to or forever. They're just going to bow out and say techno for the technology time frame, and the services, the services, that would be tied to your dollar and your bank and such, and all these things going out. And then the trade, AI, they said it might be 2 years now, but AI was going to take over the ports and the transporting of the shipping and all these things. So we can, as all these things have been given, we see the fruits of these labors, to where eventually that fruit drops to the ground, rots, and plants the seed and grows the tree, and we're going to live on that tree growing. So we're going to live on one tree growing. If you're on the 10th light, in a matter of speaking, the 7th world is the rapture. The kingdom, or heaven, comes without the kingdom comes without observation or whatever, but this is where the kingdom is inside you. Jesus is given birth within us, but this is where Herod comes and such, and tries to gather this baby And then the Herod is tied to the Lady Liberty on one side, and the Herod is also tied to the bad side on the other one. So this is where there's a duality, and then one is taking you into another land and all those other things. So this is where you have the Asia Minor prophets, and all those things are tied to the China stuff that's going to be happening as the economies change and whatever else. But so as the Ice Age sets up, the mastodons, the mammoths are tied to the woman, and then the mastodons, that's tied to the slave age and all those things. But that's where you got that, or you can be on the back of the beast. All right. So once you get it up to a certain level, then you become one with the woman or one with the earth and those types of things, and that's the ear. And well, you get to know that song we're told about. Let me check my notes here. The military potential. All right, the potential, that's tied to the crypto. And then the pot is tied to the tree of life, the river on two sides. And this is where the church and these things won't be able to use it. And they'll have a gathering here, and then they'll do another one here. But we can also see that the hive or the beehive set up with the, I've told y'all about this before, but with the fecal disease, the fecal, all right, the buy and sell. But this can come in and get rid of your cash and the way we do business out there. And this is where you need a parallel economy in a way, to where you have this world in America, but to buy the stuff you've been getting in China or whatever, we'll have to get over here. And then the drone wars can be, how are we going to transport these types of things in one way without hitting each other and whatever else kinds of things. So the cyber truck, that's the EV gas, and the SCI makes that sky. So this is tied to that sky transferring from one to the other as it's going from man, the Zelen sky, to the cyber truck that's in a mix-up connecting 2 points of light and to another time frame. That's why you had it on the same day as the ISIS thing, or so-called ISIS flag with the bourbon and the whiskey and those types of things. And then the chips with China. This can be kind of a dual thing here also, because the China spies and the network and whatever can be tied to these, or a certain brand, Honda, whatever. The Honda's the Jonda. This can be tied to the chips, where the cars are certain brand. That brand's also the branding for the ass, for the mark, for the beast. And then the mark of the beast, the mark AT, that's also the alien nation, the illegal aliens, and all those things are tying to the time frame that you're in. Shoot, I forgot what I was talking about on there. It will come back to me. Parallel economy. You have to buy one, or you have one here, and then you have to buy all your stuff from China over there. The AI doing the ports, so the ports have to stop at some point and then restart. So this stopping and starting or whatever, this would be where they're doing things but not telling the nation what they're doing. And this would be the tribulational times where you kind of got to figure it out on your own and whatever else is going on. But the one is just to move us into the other, and then they can open it back up and whatever. As they open it back up, you'll have the people running back to these old times or whatever, because they're of that old light or whatever. And this is where all the stars and the moon, except for Mercury and stuff, are lining up for an alignment. And this is also a watch setting. So as all these things line up, this is when people are like going down, and it's in your coldest time frame and darkest months and these things, as it's going down, it's gonna make those people stay down. And that's where it's giving last minute clues on the Christmas thing and the names and the numbers and all these things that are matching as that spiritual goes into the carnal and projects into these lights. Okay, as man's a lampstand, these lights of God and the sons of God are projecting out, whether that be through the puppeteer or whether it be through a natural projection through getting the so-called 2020 vision I received, or whoever these other real prophets are, or whatever kind of thing is going on. But the church, the physical church, those who are stuck behind those bounds still, they're going to see Jesus and the prophets as the Antichrist, because they don't understand who Christ is. Okay, they don't understand that Jesus told Peter that he was Satan. In the same chapter, Peter called him Christ. In the same chapter that Jesus said he would build a church. And okay, and then it happened. And that Peter, that petter ass that's going to be coming for that pedicurists. All right, the pedos. All right, all that stuff's there. That pedo is for the Saul the butler. Now the baker's got that dough, and he's going to bake it up in the flames of hell. As hell comes and the potter has made the clay, and it comes out, it's going to bring the rod and going to shatter it as the snake comes and all these other things. So as Moses, in one way, Moses puts the snake down for 2025, and then depending where you're at in the spectrum, you pick that snake up and turn it back into a rod, and then you start smashing back with it. And that's your two-edged sword in a way. You might not have had time to get it sharpened up, but that's where the Holy Spirit will come in and fill in the words for you, all right? Because we don't need this script necessarily for the world stage to go up to battle against these people, all right? Now, it does help if you have trained in the dojo of the Baal system and you got the nunchucks in hand, but there's different ways of fighting, and some people are just wild fucking people. So we'll see the cat or the lion come out within them. Cat fights everywhere. All right, but so this the iodine, I just see this note, ties into Sodom and Gomorrah, the iodine. This is tying into your pineal and such, but the dining for the Last Supper. Let me see here. These dual-use products that are banned from China, it's talking about the increased security countries commerce ministry. All right, that's the securities and exchange. It's for your money stuff, the second coming, and the cure for the rod that already went into the clay. And the count tries is for the tryings on the counts for the 2025 and the Christmas spirit and all these things aligning. And as we've hit the 24 or 23 and 24, and now we've hit the 23 on the 9/11 and 24, everything comes into a clear view as they are having Eve come in and do that bleeding on the streets of Bourbon. And that bourbon, that cold, and then that head shave, and all those types of things. The Ben is the sun, which is the light. So that's tied to the wicked and the man-child, and different things coming in, the child man. We can also see cirrhosis of the liver can't be undone, the done. And the B for the beehive, but further, the but for her. All right, that's the beastmen on one spectrum calling the other beastmen. So each will be kind of beast to the other, as one's left behind and one's taken to slaughter and laughters and such. So either way, we'll end it here because the time and the the Jimmy Carter one.